Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now, over the last few years, car manufacturers have been adding a lot of technological stuff inside the car and also updating the cars and also making some of the features that we used to like redundant in the current cars. So today's video is a little debatable and controversial, but it all depends on your opinions. But these are my opinions, so I'm gonna just discuss them straight away. So today's video is about the 10 car trends that have been followed in the newer generations of cars, which are just pointless. But and to be honest, some of the tech that has been added is also just useless, outright useless. So we're going to be discussing that. So let's start with the first point, and that is the wireless charging. Now, a lot of you may be surprised why is wireless charging. Now, let's be honest, wireless charging, whenever it has been provided, it's a good feature to when you forget a cable or something. But then whoever has a wireless charger must have experienced that it is horribly so slow, and it takes a long time before your car, the phone charges to even 1% or 5%. It takes like half an hour just to get that much of juice inside your phone, and that is the reason why either it should just the manufacturers should just give a powerful wireless charger, or just get rid of them, because we have lots of cables and lot of connectivity options these days for charging also. So we are better off with that instead of the slow wireless charging, and some of them don't even fit all the phones, or some are just cramped inside a very tight spot where taking your phone and putting it into charge and removing it is pretty difficult. The next feature is the half open rear windows. Now, these days some manufacturers, I mean most of the manufacturers, just only allow the rear windows to open either halfway or just 75% down, and just the last bit just remains. And I don't know why that is done. It's just because it's again pointless. Either give windows that will completely open so that even the rear passengers can enjoy the view, or just make them redundant. Like, just don't let the rear passengers, I know there's a child lock, but still, just don't let them open the rear windows at all. The next feature, and it is somewhat annoying for me to be honest, is the start stop feature. Now, these days again the manufacturers have switched on to the mild hybrids, and as a result of that they would give you the start stop function, where if you're in a traffic or if you are stuck in a signal, then the car would switch off on its own when you have put the car in the neutral or you just press the brake. And what this does is, the moment you lift up the brake pedal, the car just starts, the engine switches on, and then you start going. But there is a lot of delay in most of the systems where you just lift your brake pedal and then it takes a long time, at least a second or a second and a half for the car to start. And it's not just even that. Like, take for example my BMW. So whenever I am back home and I am at the parking and I want to open the parking gate, so I just stop for a moment just so that the parking gates can open up. Now the car thinks that I have just arrived at a junction or in a traffic signal or somewhere, and then it just switches off all of a sudden, and then it just again decides, okay, let me start again. So, and then it goes away. So this is just a point. And then there is a lot of jerking also because of that. It's not exactly pleasant thing, so I think scrap that. Moving on with our next feature is the voice control systems. Now, I'm pretty sure no one needs the introduction to the voice control commands which are inside your car. They are inbuilt these days. Again, they have improved a lot, but not enough where you can be reliable on them. Like, most of the systems, at least 50%, are pretty nice. I mean, they have refined the systems, but then 50% of them pretty much get every single time the commands wrong. Like, just try it out and I'm pretty sure you know that. And not even that, when you connect your phone, the voice command would just sort of sometimes open your phone with the voice controls. Like, this has happened to me when I connected to my BMW. I don't know if it happens to you, but it has happened to me. But anyways, the voice control system just needs to go. The next trend which has started is manufacturers have either stopped giving you the spare wheel, or they just give you like a space saver wheel. Now, the space saver spare wheel is is a lot smaller than the usual wheel, because it's got the lesser width, and also the rim size is bigger, and you can't, if you actually put the spare wheel, you won't be able to go about let's say 70 or 80 kilometers per hour, and that is actually pointless, because you want the spare wheel so that you can resume your normal operations, and it may take a little while before you may find something to replace that wheel again. So I mean, and I get the fact that, you know, at least they've given a spare wheel, but then if you give a spare wheel, give a proper one, and if not, then just, yeah, like most of the manufacturers that don't give a spare wheel, just do that instead. Coming to the next feature is the reversing camera. Again, the premium car segments have some brilliant camera systems, I get that, but it's the lower end of the market which has camera systems which are just ridiculously bad. Like, you know, they have grainy output from the system, either cameras too dark, saturated images, contrasting ones, and then in the dark they just don't work. So either improve on those camera systems, or again, just give us the parking sensors. That is more than enough, because most of you, I'm pretty sure, are still going to look behind to check out you, and not rely on those dodgy black sort of camera output that you get from your screen. Again, the screens also have to improve simultaneously with the camera system, so either give like a quality, and it doesn't take a lot, trust me, it doesn't take a lot to give such a quality camera and the screen in your car. So either give that, or we are better off by looking behind. Now, most of the times you would find a touchscreen in a modern car. Not most of the times, I mean pretty much all the time you would find a touchscreen. And what has also happened is a lot of features like your AC controls, your media controls, all have started shifting into the touchscreen. Now, again, I am not against the media controls, that's alright, because I can live without the music, but it's the aircon and those controls which are inside the touchscreen, and that is very, very annoying and actually pretty dangerous. Think of it, if you are driving in a traffic and then all of a sudden you want to change the air conditioning settings, or you want to lower the temperature, or you want to increase the fan speed, lower it, or switch it off, you have to go way inside the system and then dig that option, and before you realize that, some mishap is waiting to happen for sure. So I think the aircon controls needs to be outside all the time. Let's be honest, we are used to the dials and the controls and the buttons to operate an air conditioning, and not just that, even the minor features, like if you want to just switch on the ventilated seats, or if you want to change some settings inside, or if you want to switch on to a navigation, there are like a lot of options that you have to dig in sometimes before you end up with that option. So at least that has to stop. And coming from that reference is the satellite navigation system. Oh my god, why do you give a satellite navigation system? I don't get it. Because let's get this straight, okay? We have Android Auto and have Apple Carplay also in the system. So whenever you are connecting your phone, 90% of the times you are going to use that, because your phone is connected, you will be just using the Google Maps. But if not, then I don't think you've ever, I mean, just let me know in the comment section below if you've ever used a satellite navigation maps which have been provided in your car, because personally I have never used it, and I'm glad BMW hasn't bothered to even give it, because it doesn't matter. Well, this is a very particular feature that every one of us would relate, and that is the various alerts and the beeps that continue happening inside your car, or even when you are just parked. So let's start off with, let's say if my car was just parked, and if I open the door, the car just starts beeping most of the times, because it just thinks, I don't know, the car is switched off, but it just wants to beep for no reason. And again, after that, if there are any alerts, they will just pop up on your screen, and make sure that it just stays there. Like if you are on a low fuel level, God save you, because that warning isn't going from your screen, it just stays there before you put petrol. So the car can be pretty bossy that way sometimes, when it wouldn't show you any other information, but all it wants is fuel. And also again, when I say the car was left the door was left open, it would just keep beeping when the car isn't on. Okay, it is that point. Again, now this is a fact. Whenever you are reversing, it's by law that you can remove the seat belt and you can do the reversing. But take this BMW for example. Like whenever I remove the belt and I am reversing, it beeps till the time I have to wear it again. Like otherwise it just won't stop, because I know I'm not even going above 5 kilometers in the reverse, but then it just thinks that I will be crashing. And again, driver assist and also the warning systems which I mentioned, like if there is any failure in your car which is just minor, but then the car would make sure it just pops it right in front of you all the time. Like say for example, the SOS warning system on my car, it has been there forever, that warning, and it just doesn't go, and it doesn't let me see the other the trip information on my dashboard. The last thing, and again that's also pretty important, is nowadays the storage features, if you observed in a car, have just started decreasing every single car that you see. And let's just start with the dashboard first. All right, like if you remember cars in the 90s or the 2000s, they had the dashboards where you can actually put stuff like your papers or books or anything. Like you can just put and then forget about it, because it was never going to fall off, or even your phones for that fact. But then nowadays the dashboards have been made completely flat, or sometimes even sloping, so that anything you put on it, it's going to fall. Even the storage space, like your cup holders, your glove box, and even the center console in the lower end cars like your hatchback and also the sedans, some of them, the budget sedans actually, in that they've removed the center console, and for no reason, because a lot of drivers, bear in mind, have been complaining about that, because it just takes a little effort to put that box again, and at least it also helps in resting your hands during the longer journeys. But for some reason the manufacturers decide not to give that, and in fact no more storage, because if I have two phones, I have to wonder where will both of us be. If I had a co-passenger and if we both have to use the storage space to put our phones, we just are sort of fighting most of the times to put the phones. In some cars the cup holders have become shallow too, because if you put a normal glass with a drink in it, you are, most of the times you would notice that it is either going to fall off or it just is wobbling around inside, because there is nothing to stop it, because it's shallow. So those were the 10 annoying features that have been added in a modern day car, and to be honest, if these features weren't there, or if they were just removed from the car, I won't be complaining at all. Trust me. I'm pretty sure even you would have some of these annoying features that you think shouldn't exist in the car, in the modern day car. So feel free to write them down in the comment section below, and let's make this list a bigger one, and then let's discuss this out. Anyways, give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, then click here, and if you want to watch more videos, then click here. Until we meet next time, bye bye. Take care and stay safe.